All right. So today we have Monique, and she's one of the newest members in the AUM training program. So, Monique, go ahead and introduce yourself, share where you're from and your occupation.
My name's Monique Navarro, and I'm in Southern California, and I am a life insurance agent with Family First Life.
Awesome. Awesome. And so, how long have you been an agent?
Mm, since February, March
Oh,
of
okay.
2021.
Awesome. Awesome. And so, what motivated you to get into business in the first place? What were you doing before this?
I was a homemaker, actually. I got myself into a little debt, and I told my husband I was going to pay it off. And so a friend of mine said, "Hey, you should do life insurance." And from that point forward, I started studying, did the test, and then became an agent. But I actually originally started as a captive agent, but I never went anywhere with that company.
Okay. And so, why do you think that was the case?
I just felt like there was something more out there,
Okay.
and that there was a better way of doing things.
Hmm. And so, after you made that transition, what happened?
I started researching the field. I started learning the different ways of selling and being comfortable with it, and learning how to deal with certain fears that I had, and just being able to overcome them. And um, I started noticing different ways of how certain companies do things, and I saw right away that things could be done more efficiently.
Awesome. Awesome. And so, you know, being in the business a little bit now, what's kind of turned into your why? Like, why you want to help people? Why you want to protect families and educate people at this point?
I've seen it in my own family. I've seen how it could be very destructive for the families, where they have to come out and they're raising families of their own, and then their parents don't have the money for the funeral. And so it kind of touched home for me, and seeing the value behind it. And so my husband and I always saw the value behind life insurance, and I felt like, that would be a good industry to get into.
Awesome. That's amazing. And so, I guess let's transition into the AUM training program. How did you come across us? How did you find us?
It's funny because I started seeing your ads on Facebook, and I think it was Earl who was talking, and I just like how he was very straightforward. And so I clicked on the ad, and so I started watching the videos. And then after the video, I scheduled an appointment, and then I forgot who the person I spoke to. I already knew I was going to sign up when he called me. So I basically told him, let's just get straight to it. How much is it going to cost me? What do I need to do? He started laughing. I go, I'm serious, because I just see how the grind, I don't like that word, because the grind is kind of like what Earl had mentioned, and just taking courses in college talking about the grind, and there's just better ways of doing things. So um, I saw it right away. Like I started seeing your ads too, and just you're able to live life, but still doing something you love to do, and you're able to do it with systems. And so
Hmm.
that's what appealed to me.
Right. And so, what? So you came on the call sold, but what was the one thing that really sold you, where you're like, okay, this is what I need. This is really, this is the right thing for me. This is the next step for me to take.
Producing my own leads, um, I just feel like the quality would be better because it's coming directly to me, as opposed to being filtered out through a company and then be dispersed. So I felt like I would see more benefit if I were just paying for it. I'm paying for it on my own through another company if I'm getting my leads, but I felt like it puts more pressure on me to try to make it work.
Gotcha. And so, how long have you been a student in the AUM program so far?
Oh, I started right away. So when I started writing contracts in March for Family First Life,
Mm-hmm.
I only bought one set of leads, and I had okay, I mean, not that great success with those leads. and I saw immediately that I needed to do something. So I started with you guys a few weeks later in April.
Okay. And so what? So based off those leads, right? Because both work, but it's just a difference in philosophy. What's been the reception from that's different from the way you received when you buy leads from a company? How people been receiving you when you reach out
Oh,
to
it's more personable. They know who I am. They see my picture on Facebook. They sometimes they don't click on the link as far as to continue to set an appointment, but they'll send me a message on Messenger and I'll reply to them that way. And sometimes they just call me on their own by clicking on my business manager. They'll see my phone number. So there's even leads that I'm getting on the side that are not a part of the actual link.
you?
Like like in the section where we keep track of our leads on the Excel sheet where it talks about leads. And I was thinking about that today when I was filling it out was there's leads in here that are not even being accounted for because they're on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. So as a byproduct of running the system, you're reaching more people that you're able to connect with.
yes.
Awesome. And so you teach your kids from home, right? Is that what I hear?
Yes, I homeschool my kids. I've been homeschooling them for the last 3 years.
Right. So how has this been able to, stabilize some of that where you don't have to go around? How's that been impacting that?
It was really difficult in the beginning because it's a quality change. It's a lifestyle change for my whole family. So just to give my kids a break and myself a break, I signed them up for a summer program. And we're blessed to be able to do that, to put them in a summer program to begin with. So um and then I may continue homeschooling them in the fall and just drop part-time. So we'll see where all the things line up in the future.
Awesome. Yeah. And so I guess if you had to guess about how much premium do you think you've written so far since it's only been a short time, but if you had to guess about how much premium you think you've written since you joined the program.
It's funny. I knew you were going to ask me that question, and I was going to sit down and actually calculate it, but I didn't. Um, so I wrote about 20 policies since March. I want to say mm, about 15,000.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, so that
Mhm.
but the thing is that allows you flexibility and freedom, right? Where you got kids that you're homeschooling, where you don't have to go back and to and fro, wear and tear on your car, gas, getting stood up.
Mhm.
There's a lot of pros to being able to kind of do that from where you are. And if you needed to go out and do those things, you could still do that. But this just allows you the luxury to not be able to do that. So not just the production that you have, and not the byproduct of just getting leads as a byproduct of running this. People just know you, and it's more personal. But it allows you to have a choice to how to run your business the way you see fit, right? Whichever makes fit for your house. And so you know, agents may see this that want to follow you, may want to join your team, right? So, you know, if agents are checking this out, right? Because sometimes people see things online and they're kind of skeptical, and they may say this is too good to be true or something like that. And it's just a system, right? It's a process
Mhm.
that you go through. So, what would you say to agents that are kind of on the fence looking at something like this?
Sometimes you just have to take those chances and do your due diligence. You got to look into people before you just sign up things. And having that conversation and sometimes just like just taking that chance. I'm one of those people that will just take a chance, and I know that because I do have a business degree, and I know that in order to have a business you have to be able to put in and make those sacrifices, and just kind of you got to have faith in yourself too, that you got to do it. You got to hold yourself accountable. You can't expect that this is a magic pill that it's going to solve all your problems. And you got to be able to analyze your mindset and how you're going about it when you walk it right into it. If you walk right into it thinking I'm going to swim, then you're going to swim. If you walk into it thinking I'm going to sink, then you're probably going to sink. So it's all about mindset, really. That's what I would tell people. It's just about mindset.
Yeah, that's a great point of advice because a lot of people leave that part out. They focus on the tactics and the newest gadgets, but they don't really kind of manage their own personal state and their own mindset. And sometimes, like you said, you got to believe in your ability to figure it out. And it sounds like that's what you have. It's like, because there's more ways than one to do anything, but you got to stick with it long enough to see it through, and you got to hold your own self accountable, which was a great point. Well,
Hmm.
thank you once again for sharing your story. Definitely excited and rooting for you, and looking forward to hearing more results and success from you. But thank you so much for hopping on today.
Thank you.
All right.